You know, my favorite thing about the movie is like it feels like a movie.
Can I get you anything?
A gun.
Fucking trip!
Where the hell have you been, Luca?
My mom does all the grocery shopping.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Hi, Barbie!
Hi, Ken!
Don't suck on your own fucking head.
I don't know what it looks like!
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen.
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
That means nothing.
I like mugs.
I want to make history, and that's what this is.
What was that?
Hello and welcome to What the Fuck is Happening, the podcast.
Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also good. It feels good to be back in person.
It does. We say as if we haven't seen each other in person multiple times and just decided not to record.
Okay, well, you didn't need to, reveal the behind-the-scenes footage.
Air our dirty
this is
laundry.
not Actors Access. Before we started recording, we were doing, the testing.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of my absolute favourite joke of all time when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
I used to say it all the time.
Right.
If quizzes are quizzical, then what are tests?
Testicle.
If that's not genius art comedy.
Did you make that up or did you hear it somewhere?
No, I'm sure I heard that somewhere.
Oh.
Why?
Well, if you made it up, I would have said the prodigal child of humour, you know?
Unfortunately, I was just the prodigal child.
Well.
Just in general. I'm never gonna
give you up. Never gonna let you down.
I've never been more disappointed in you. I'm never gonna get tired of discussing the gifted child to burnt out
adult
flop of an adult
pipeline. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing.
It's very much a thing. Or gifted child to hardcore depressed anxiety adult.
Do you know this week, this is probably a discussion that we should have had in person before I just tell you on the pod, but this week I saw my therapist and she was like, I think you need to go on antidepressants, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to. Anyway, I told Mum and I was like, oh, she thinks I need to go on antidepressants, and Mum goes, why? I'm like, I think it's in the name, Samantha. What do you mean, why?
That's my least favorite thing. I was gonna say that adults do, that parents do.
Yeah. To be fair to her, she did circle it back around and she saved it in the end, and she was very supportive by the end of the conversation, but still, I did hold a grudge for, well, that was 5 days ago now, so for 5 days.
Yeah, no, it's very much they put me on, what is it? Ural? For urinary tract infections? And why? It's for a urinary tract infection. What?
Yeah, wow. It's shocking. I wonder why a medication that's prescribed for a specific reason would be prescribed to you. It's shocking.
Imagine.
Shocking.
TikTok's trying to do that thing again where it convinces me I have ADHD or something.
Yeah, sorry. I probably shared too many of those videos with you.
Yeah, it probably is your fault.
Same with the sport thing. That's also my fault.
Yeah. I'm okay with that one. I don't mind that one.
It's good.
The F1 sports cars, people being hot.
So it's fine. It'll
to be clear, Maddie likes F1 for genuinely the racing.
Yeah.
And the celebrity of the people. I just like it because it's got hot people in it.
Well, the hot people are definitely a draw, and they were in the beginning, but now I do like it genuinely for the racing.
Now you like to watch the cars go.
I do.
Zoom, zoom.
I do. Unfortunately, you can't see the hot people while they're going zoom, zoom. So
you can imagine them.
That would be so true, and I do.
Imagine that.
Good talk.
I don't. What was I gonna say? Oh, another thing where I diagnosed myself. I was looking in the mirror this morning while I was brushing my teeth, naked.
Of course.
And I had an epiphany,
right?
Realization. And I realized that I have the exact silhouette of Baymax. There's the
way you started that with, anyway, the other thing I've diagnosed myself with.
It's a diagnosis.
Is it?
Yeah, I diagnose you with bangs.
I think it's
'Cause
just
you have bangs.
a comparison. You diagnose yourself with Baymax.
With Baymax's silhouette.
Silhouette.
It's giving Baymax.
I fucking love that film.
I fucking love
Just
that
throwing
film
that
too.
out. I was thinking about it the other day.
It's
and
a
I was
Slay
like, I
movie.
should rewatch that.
It's got a Slay Fall Out Boy song in it.
It really does.
What was I was watching like an old like cooking competition show on TV the other day, and I was like, if this was made today, this couldn't be made today. It's too politically incorrect. No, I was like, if this was made today, I feel like every time someone cooked a really good dish, the judges would have to be like, slay mama, work, slay the house down boots, yes God, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like they'd have to like encourage mudslaying, because there's that cooking barbecue show, competition show with Carson Kressley on it.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, one of the Drag Race judges. Where did you get that glass of water?
I've had it the whole time. I got it when I was downstairs.
You're a loose cannon. Anyway, how are? Yeah, I asked how you are, but I didn't wait for an answer. So how are you?
I'm pretty sure I just said good.
And then you said I have depression.
Oh yeah. I don't know how that happened.
Well, if it's any consolation, I've just switched meds.
Yeah, I know. It's been rough.
It has been rough.
Airing that dirty laundry too.
And they've been switching from like the more focused on the depression side to now they're more focused on the anxiety side.
Interesting.
To try and solve one of the like causes of the depression.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So it's like it's pretty different. They're fine. They're pretty different. This is TMI, but like, are you gonna go on antidepressants? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided.
Okay. Well,
yet.
whenever you decide, let me know how your sex drive goes.
Yeah. Honestly, this is one. Not that I'm having sex on the regular anyway, but this is one of the main
Slut.
reasons why I'm like
Slut. Floozy.
Is why I'm not sure about this, is because I'm like, oh, I don't know if my libido already sucks. Like, do I really need?
Say that again.
My libido already
I
sucks.
thought I was like, yeah, your libido. That's how I say it. I thought you said libido.
Oh.
I was like, come on, Madame Tribideau from Glee. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah, I wonder what it would do.
I don't know.
Maybe just go and find out. You know, fuck around
Well,
and find out.
I was like, oh, I
Ironically,
feel like
fuck
I just want to manage it myself. And my therapist was like, well, you can, but you actually have to do things to manage it.
Yeah, she's like, okay, and what's the plan there, Miss Thing?
She was like, you should like start with like 10 minutes of exercise a day. I was like, oh, but it's really hilly around here. She's like, yeah.
I hate to tell you this,
Yeah.
but it turns out humans are meant to be in the sun for at least 30 minutes a day.
Horrifying. Truly, that sounds like my worst
I told you like last year when I got diagnosed with like dangerously low vitamin D levels.
Whack, did you really?
Yeah, actually, you should get a blood test.
They have to do it anyway because of the
Okay.
the trial. So, yeah.
Is it low?
No, it wasn't last time.
Whack.
Surprisingly.
Well, my GP thought I genuinely thought I was a vampire. Like he'd never seen anyone have vitamin D at that low of a level.
Funny.
And I was like, no, I totally spent half an hour in the sun each day.
Well, do you know, actually, Australians have some of the lowest levels of vitamin D in the whole wide world because we sunscreen up so thoroughly.
Well, that's the thing.
That-
The other day, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And then the other day, I was going to spend some time in the sun, like go read a book in the sun, which I've been trying to do more.
That's really nice.
No, it doesn't do great.
Too bright out there.
But I was like, I should probably put sunscreen on because I burn easily. But then I was like, wait, let me Google if sunscreen actually stops the vitamin D from even absorbing. And it does.
Yeah.
So I ended up just putting a little bit on my face
Yeah.
and
fair.
leaving all the rest of my arms and legs bare.
I mean, it really would depend, right? Obviously, you're not going to go out in fucking the middle of Australian summer for 2 hours and sit in the sun with no sunscreen. But like,
I would go outside for 45 minutes to read a book at like 3 or 4 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you could do that, you know? So, yeah, anyway.
I'm also convinced whenever I like sit down in the sun to like read a book that, you know, with like a magnifying glass in the sun, you can like create fire and like burn ants, like the Ant Bully movie.
Yeah.
I'm always terrified that the sun's going to do that to my eyes with my glasses. and it's gonna create little sun lasers that like bore into my eyes.
Do you know
and burn all the way to the back of my head.
Personally, I feel like you'd probably realize that was happening before it got to the point where it was an issue.
Would you, or would it be like a lobster being boiled alive, where it's like
it's
the
happening
water's
so slowly.
so gradually increased that by the time it's boiling,
No, I think you
it's
know,
like, woo,
because it has to be a
hot
really specific angle. It doesn't just like go into glass and then it creates a fire, because otherwise every house would be on fire with the windows, right? Like,
but they're not magnified.
no, it doesn't have to be magnified, I don't think.
Yes, it does.
I don't think so, because you can do it through like a glass bottle, although I guess they're
magnified.
They're so thick that they're...
No, if you do it with a glass bottle, it's around the edges where
Yeah.
distorted.
Maybe.
I thought you were smart.
Well, I've seen like... I don't know what I've seen. Maybe I haven't.
Yeah, no, you haven't. Lying whore.
Anyway.
Before we talk about anything,
Yeah, should we have our custard?
we should have our little mukbang.
Yes,
Okay, we went to Fresco for the first time,
we did. It was so exciting.
and we both spent exactly $33.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact, we went to sushi beforehand and both spent exactly $21.
Yeah, so we really...
So somehow we
matched
spent the exact
energies
same
today.
amount. But that was also in 1 hour, so we did spend like $50 in an hour, which...
But it's not like it's things that are happening over an hour. The food that we bought at Fresco is going to last.
Well, I was going to say we went to the movies last night and I spent way more than $50 an hour.
And that was like one and done.
Yeah.
That's finished now.
We like got a burger at Grilled and then
Yeah.
went and saw a movie.
Yeah.
And that cost like $3,000.
It felt like it.
And that's with health insurance.
But you know what? It was a really long movie, so if you spread out the money per minute
That's
of
true.
enjoyment...
But the popcorn was
girl
also
math.
shit.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I had an ice cream. It wasn't as good as the other movie that we usually go to, though, so...
Cinema, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so we have some random things.
Yeah.
These are the best things I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
They're really cute. I haven't tasted them yet, though, so they could be disgusting.
They're little ducky custard buns from China.
The way you said from China.
China.
I've also had this teeny tiny bit of Red Bull, so I'm more caffeinated
she has
than I usually am.
Japanese Red Bull. I have Japanese cold brew, which is lovely, really strong.
Perfect for you.
Perfect for you. But these duckies are the cutest things I've ever seen,
They're adorable.
and they're custard buns, and we're gonna see if they're any good.
Yeah,
I think they're the fucking cutest.
they are the cutest.
Only one of them really looks like the photo. But they all have little ears.
They all have my favorite bit is the beak, personally.
They're so cute. Well, this one's got Lisa Rinna lips.
That's wild. Why are they all so different? Also, I only realized just before that there's paper on the bottom, and I'm glad that I saw that, because otherwise I would have accidentally eaten it.
Okay, when I took them out, they were very, very soft. They're a little more stiff now.
Well, I mean, they've been out of the microwave for a little while.
But
right?
I'm sure... Okay, let's find out. I'm going to actually rip it, perhaps. Ooh, the custard's so pretty.
Oh, is there actually liquid custard in there?
Fucking delightful.
Okay, I'm having mine now.
You probably should have broken it in half to get the custard. It's lovely.
It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be.
Asian desserts aren't typically sweet.
No. I should have
Like
more
red
faith in
bean,
them.
egg custard. Yeah.
That's a vibe. The dough is really thick, I'm not going to lie.
It's because they're cold.
Oh.
Have you ever been to Yum Cha and had the egg custard tarts?
No.
I think you'd love them. I'll try them.
The custard's really
It kind of looks like American cheese. But it's a custard and it's delightful.
It's really good.
I think that was right under my bum.
It didn't.
Oh, bless. That's so yummy.
That's good. That's good. I don't think I would be able to have the second one,
Not right now.
but it's good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like that it's not crazy sweet.
Right? I was really scared it was going to be like a full-on like donut. But it's a really nice balance. Again, should have had more faith.
adorable and delicious.
I agree.
That's looks like a crime scene. What you've done to that
I was gonna say mine's really violent. It's just like a.
It's giving Two-Face from Batman. Do you remember that scene in The Dark Knight?
No, I've never seen it.
Really?
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh, you would adore them.
I probably would, but yeah, I
I'm
haven't seen them.
Cillian Murphy plays the Scarecrow in the first one.
That's cool.
There's a scene in The Dark Knight, which is the second one, where Heath Ledger is the Joker.
And Christian Bale is Batman.
And Aaron Eckhart is Two-Face.
Okay.
But anyway, Aaron Eckhart's character Two-Face is in hospital. And Heath Ledger's Joker dresses up as a nurse.
Yeah, and then he walks out and blows it up?
No.
Oh.
And he's got like a face mask on just over the mouth. As wearing a
Like
dress,
COVID.
but it's like very obviously clearly the Joker. And it's like this super serious, intense, critically lauded film. And anyway, the Joker dressed as a nurse walks into Two-Face's hospital room and has like a conversation, and Two-Face is none the wiser. And then the Joker takes off the face mask just to reveal his mouth. And Two-Face is like, the Joker! And it's the absolute...
It's giving Superman Clark Kent.
Yeah. It's like the most insanely goofy thing out of any of the Christopher Nolan movies, except for Tenet when they lubed up the deck and threw the dead guy's body off the boat.
Honestly, I thought you were just going to say except for Tenet. And I'd be like, yeah.
No.
I mean, in the follow-up episode to this, we're going to do some movie reviews.
Yes.
Including Oppenheimer. And we are going to eat every single negative word we've said about Christopher Nolan over the past, 2 years.
This is true.
But that's for next episode, Maddie and Nick, to worry about.
It is. Okay, I also got these little, what I'm hoping are little crunchy dumpling guys, like meringue type things.
Okay, that's a vibe. I didn't see you pick them up either.
I think they're just so adorable. And they have a little strawberry man.
I mean, to be honest, anything that's a pastel colour is going to be great. Are they not good? Are they really savoury? Hold on, let me swallow this mouthful and then I'll have one.
But they're so cute.
What are they? What does it say on there? Small steamed bun.
I thought they were going to be like meringue crunchiness.
So
And they are crispy, but
are they just really yucky?
they just taste like a tablet.
Oh.
It's like, when you...
I don't think they're that bad.
Okay, well, you can take them home with you.
It's giving really dry shortbread cookie.
No, it's not. It's giving dehydrated flour. For me.
What? How many more freaking snacks are there?
Well, I got some dried mango pineapple.
The whole entire reason we went there in the first place was because Nick was like, I really want some fresh pineapple and some fresh watermelon, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they only had whole watermelons and whole pineapples, so that didn't work.
Shocking.
But I like eating dried fruit because it makes me feel like a cannibal. Don't you think that looks like flesh? That looks like I've peeled a little strip of your skin off and dried it out in the dehydrator.
I mean, it does.
Flesh.
It does, but I don't think you should say the whole reason why I like eating it is because it reminds me of human flesh. I think...
I didn't say the whole reason.
You basically said that.
I mean...
You could have said, I really like dried fruit. It's really nice to eat. And also, it's extra fun because it reminds me of human flesh.
That's what I said.
It's not at all what you said.
That's basically what I said.
It might be what you meant, but you definitely communicated it in the absolute wrong order.
Well, that's a you problem.
I think it's going to be a whole wide world problem.
Delightful. Also not as sweet as Western dried fruit.
Love that.
It's not like candied.
I hate that.
That could be like,
A penis?
yeah. It's a nice slice of penis.
I mean,
There's just one scene in Hannibal
I've never seen that either.
television series where there's a new serial killer on the loose. Sorry for this, gross ASMR. And he leaves one of his victims to be
Oh,
found
that's
by
delightful.
right
That's really
by
good.
the cops. I've got you onto delightful now.
Have you?
I've been calling everything delightful today. I don't know why, but I have been. And now she's doing it.
Good.
Anyway, where the killer... Maybe I should just find the scene.
It's like powdered icing sugar on the outside.
Yeah, but it's like light. It's not...
Yeah, no, it's light. It's better than like raw freaking caster sugar or something. That's usually on these things.
Do you like dried apple?
Yeah. I like dried fruit in general.
I don't like dried apple.
Oh. I like dried apple. I like a dried nani.
I like dried banana.
I like a dried.
I like
apricot.
yeah, banana chips are delicious.
Exactly. Yeah, dried apple. Sultana. Actually, on the range, on like the scale of dried fruit, I would say sultana is probably my least favorite.
No. Sultana. I love sultanas.
No.
Woolies sells these little boxes of sour, little plastic paper bags of sour sultanas,
Interesting.
and they're so lovely.
Yeah. I feel very
my
full.
Opinion.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so moving on to the news from the week.
Yeah,
Because we've probably got to talk about that at some point.
we do.
I mean, the only real thing that comes to mind for me is the Selena Gomez drama.
Interesting. That's the only thing that comes to mind.
Yeah. I think so. Well, this is still the Hannibal thing, right? Okay.
Yeah. Because it's really fucking gross. And it, like, fucked me up.
Well, I don't want to see it then.
Why not?
Well, you just said it fucked you up. I don't need to be fucked up.
Excuse me. Glass. Maybe it's episode 6.
Oh my god.
Hannibal season 2 episode. It like really fucked me up before I even saw it. Glass. Okay, I think I'm getting there.
Did I tell you Mum and Mackenzie got their tattoos this week?
No.
Yeah, they did for Nigel.
Oh.
I know.
What?
Well, Mackenzie got his collar
Oh, that's cute.
tattooed around his whole arm. And then Mum got like his paw print, but with like an angel halo over it and his name underneath it.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, so Mum, I really need to, I know they will have given you these instructions, but you can't pick at your tattoo. And I know you pick things, but you can't do this. She was like, yeah, he said that. And I was like, yeah, you've got to take him seriously. And she's like, I just don't think I can do it. Like, well, why did you even bother getting it then? Like,
I mean, I hope they'll just heal quick enough that it won't even be an issue.
I mean, hopefully, but
So basically, sorry to like change the discussion
oh, it's
abruptly.
fine. We found it now.
Basically, this woman was killed by being like bisected,
Right.
and then bisected, and then bisected, and then bisected. So you know how, for like an autopsy, not an autopsy, a biopsy of something, they'll cut it into really thin slices and like, yeah. So
Why do I have to watch this? Is there sound? Oh, no.
she wanted the haunting soundtrack.
Why has she still got her clothes on? Oh, one half of her doesn't have the clothes on.
It's really fucked up.
I think maybe it's not as bad as you remember it.
It is.
That show was so popular. I never watched it. Did you watch it? I mean, obviously.
Like, is that not fucking disgusting?
Yeah, of course it is.
You can see, like...
How do they keep it all together?
What do you mean?
Well, if she's been sliced...
It's between panes of glass.
That makes sense.
I did watch
now
Hannibal.
moving on.
I loved Hannibal. And I think everyone should watch Hannibal. I think they're only like 12 episode seasons. There's only 3 seasons. They're 40 minutes because they're network TV. But that was on network TV.
That's intense.
At like 10 p.m.
That's intense. They definitely committed to the Hannibal of it all.
They did. Honestly, the way that they got away with some of the stuff that they did on Hannibal is wild.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's fucking fantastic. As a psychological thriller, 11 out of 10 would recommend.
Because isn't he like... aren't they like best friends, the main dude and Hannibal and or something, and then but he doesn't know he's...
It's like, it's a mutual
killer?
obsession.
Right. But they don't know who each other is?
What do you mean?
Well, like, Hannibal doesn't know... Oh, I mean, Will, I think his name is, isn't it? He doesn't know that Hannibal is the one doing all the eating, right?
Yeah.
That is an interesting dynamic. Does Hannibal know that Will is... I don't know, what is he like a detective or something? Does he know that?
Yeah.
Interesting. What a vibe.
It's like... It starts off with Hannibal, like, playing with his food kind of thing.
That's a vibe.
Yeah, it's like one of the most fantastically written shows I've ever seen. And also some iconic, like, gross out, like, gory moments.
Yeah.
Anyway, Selena Gomez,
Yeah.
much like Hannibal Lecter, bad person.
Ate people up and spat them out. And now, I'm not going to lie. This news, when you texted it to me and you were like, oh my God, turns out Selena Gomez is a bad person. And so I feel bad. I feel less bad about saying shit about her or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this was like on par with the Lizzo of it in terms of me being shocked. Because I'm like, oh, I really thought this person was a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, she's had a pretty good image her entire career.
She has. Like, a really good... Like, she didn't even go through, like, the Miley Cyrus, like, version of going from child star to adult.
Yeah.
So, like, the controversy of that. So, she's been pretty, like, spotless.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah, it turns out she's, like, a secret asshole. For context... as everyone probably already knows, the Screen Actors Guild is on... So actors are on strike and writers are on strike. Basically, that includes any type of promotion for any movie or show that you're in recent years. You can talk about a show that finished 15 years ago, but whatever. And basically, the whole point is that they're freezing out the studios so that the studios feel the pressure and actually want to do something because their shows are getting less views and their movies are getting less money.
Yes.
Because they're not marketing them with the actors and all that stuff. And Selena Gomez this week decided to do a post promoting Only Murders in the Building.
Which she's a producer of, right?
Yeah, but she's also notoriously... the show is notoriously... massively watched and critically acclaimed.
Yes.
It doesn't need extra marketing.
No, it doesn't.
Even in spite of the strike.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not in spite, regardless of the strike. It didn't need promotion. She didn't have to post this thing. Basically, she posted, like, behind-the-scenes stuff and was like, miss you, Only Murders in the Building, or miss filming with you, Only Murders in the Building, or whatever, and tagged them and everything. And every single comment underneath was like, hey... I know this was probably unintentional. Yeah. But, like, this is scabbing. Yeah. And if you don't take it down really quick, then you risk being blacklisted by SAG-AFTRA, which is, like, the union for every American production by a major studio. She clearly saw all these comments and all the news articles and all of the
Well,
stuff.
someone on her team will have seen it, yeah.
But it was up for like over 24 hours.
That's pretty crazy.
And it took a long time for her to delete it. And then she didn't even acknowledge it. She just posted a selfie.
Yeah, pretty wild.
And I just think it's really fucking bad optics that like 4 months into the writer's strike and like 2 months into the actor's strike, one of the biggest stars in the world and one of the wealthiest actors in the world would have such little respect and compassion for all of the actors and writers who make less than $25,000 a year and are unable to qualify for healthcare. And because they don't qualify and they only make $25,000, they can't afford to pay for healthcare.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really gross to me. And it really turned me off of her. And I just think it was like really selfish and gross and scabby and irresponsible.
Well, see, the thing I just genuinely don't understand about this is that all of those things aside, as I said to you, she's part of SAG herself. And as you said, every actor, if they want to be part of a Hollywood production, has to be, right?
Yeah.
Why would she risk getting blacklisted?
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
even like from a self-preservation perspective, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It's I mean, bad as well. Very bad.
No,
as well,
I
but it's
fully
also
agree.
just really weird.
It's weird from a publicity standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unlikely that someone of her stature will get blacklisted purely because she's a big enough name to like draw viewers in.
Yeah.
But that to me makes it even worse because if
you
just like a TV series regular on a sitcom,
yeah,
that's not huge, broke the strike rules and promoted their stuff or whatever,
yeah,
they would be blacklisted.
Yeah.
For realsies.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like the chances of her not knowing are so slim that you have to assume that she did know and she just didn't care, you know?
I mean,
for
she
whatever.
did know because she hasn't promoted it for the past 2 months.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So
See, again.
there's no way she doesn't know.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would say is that maybe she didn't know that that specific thing was going to count, but even if...
She tagged the official...
Well, then I was going to say, but then why would you
account.
tag the official account? Like, it's different if you're just, like, posting a video. It's not different, but maybe you could be forgiven and be like, oh, you didn't realize if you're just posting a video, not tagging or whatever. But she's, like... tagging people, atting them in the caption.
Yeah, and
like, I don't know, man. It feels...
a bunch of her fans were like posting videos of an interview she did before the strike, where she was doing an interview and the interviewer asked, so in your career going forward and stuff, are you hoping to focus more on, like, what brings you more enjoyment and what are you going to focus more on, acting or singing? And she goes, acting.
Interesting.
And then she potentially shoots herself in the foot.
That's interesting.
It's like dumb. It's
is
giving
dumb.
big dumb energy. I don't know. Yeah, it really pissed me off.
It's fair. It was stupid.
Also, this is gonna sound bitchy as hell. Have you watched the show?
No, I haven't.
Okay, if you watch an episode of the show...
I actually was just about to start it.
Interesting. Well, whenever you start it, if you start it, it's almost comical watching the three leads act in a scene together, because Martin Short and Steve Martin are pros, and Selena Gomez is clearly above getting an acting coach.
It's been a really long time since she's done any actual, like, lengthy acting.
Yeah, but like, it's so clear when you're watching this specific show, because she's next to two legends.
Yeah.
That her acting is not on the same level, and it's like glaringly obvious. And she's either delivering things like flatline or with like a really weird inflection. And it's like, I think, and she's also a big enough star in her own right that a lot of directors, especially TV directors, aren't gonna like be like, hey, could you maybe not do it bad?
Give it some life.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think if she wasn't already friends with Steve Martin and Martin Short, outside of the production, then she probably wouldn't have got cast.
The thing about this...
I'm not saying she's a bad actor. I just don't think she's a very strong actor.
Particularly in comparison to...
Yeah.
It's giving Harry Styles and Florence Pugh.
Yeah. So I'm like... I don't see any angle in which promoting a show is good during a strike.
No, absolutely not. It's like there are so many different layers of what the fuck are you doing that it's actually comical.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not one single aspect of it that's like, oh, I understand why you might have done this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild to me. But
It's wild.
Anyway, did you see Zac Efron's post?
No.
It's iconic. I'll find it.
Has he moved away from Australia?
I have no idea, but everyone's frothing over this post. It's him and his brother shirtless, for starters.
I didn't even know he had a brother. They look so different.
Dylan Efron? You didn't know about Dylan Efron?
No.
Oh. Anyway, that's not even the crazy part. The
They
crazy
look so
part
different
is...
in their face, but their abs are exactly the same.
You can see the family resemblance.
Exactly.
It then goes into photos of golfing. And
That's
then...
so funny. Bet on it, bet on it.
Well, wait.
Oh, no.
One of the photos is this, where his pants are so skin tight, he may as well be not wearing any.
That's insane.
Like, it's iconic of him to post this.
That is iconic.
But it's like...
That's an ass shot. Like,
so
that's,
aggressively slutty.
That's just straight up a photo of his ass.
Yeah. That's insane.
It's insane. Oh, it is insane. You can't even see his face.
No.
And I don't mean that because his ass is distracting. It's like his face is turned away.
No, you don't
the camera.
see the face cheeks. You see the other cheeks. And it's like absurd. Anyway.
It is absurd.
That's all. The internet went a little bananas over that.
I mean, understandably. I bet he loved that, though.
Probably.
That's why you post it like that, right?
My For You page is fucking
Good.
F1.
You're welcome.
What else did I have? Oh, okay. So last night we watched a movie. But anyway.
A film.
We're not going to talk about that yet. But before the movie started, there was trailers for a couple of Apple TV movies.
Shocking.
And I'm really into Apple TV as a streamer.
Oh, yes.
Because, one, their content's fantastic. Severance and Silo are two of my favourite shows of all time.
Wild.
So, you still haven't watched Severance, and it's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah, I need to.
So, one, the shows are fantastic. They do quality over quantity. And two, they're willing to give their films a full theatrical release. And then instead of releasing a DVD, they release it to Disney+. Like, I think as a streaming
Apple TV,
would make
right?
sense. Yeah.
I was genuinely shocked. So that they played probably 4 or maybe 5 at a stretch trailers before the film last night. 2 of them were the Apple TV movies. I was like, what world are we living in right
and
now?
highly anticipated. One of
Yeah.
them's Martin Scorsese's new one starring Leo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro.
Yes. What was that called? Oh, it had a
Killers
really
of the
sick
Flower
name.
Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. And then the other one was Napoleon, right? Was
Starring Joaquin Phoenix,
Yeah.
but directed by Ridley Scott, who is also one of the most renowned directors of all time. But he directed Gladiator. I watched Gladiator for the first time the other week. Have you seen it?
I think I have when I was a teen in school.
The first 45 minutes is so boring.
It's kind of an average film.
Yeah, I don't think it deserves as much praise as it gets.
I don't know.
But it's genuinely a great film, but I don't think it's like one of the greatest of all time. Like people make it sound like. Also, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Never put him in anything. No offense. But he can't do accents.
No.
So unless he's playing an Australian, don't put him in it.
Fair.
But Gladiator opens with like this epic battle that's really great, and then it's like 40 full minutes of just like talking and then his family dying. Which like is sad.
That. Yeah.
But before that it's all just like politics and talking and shit. But then once he actually starts training to become a gladiator, like just before the hour mark, then it gets really, really good.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
Kind of like Gran Turismo.
Yeah, we
Once
gotta talk
the
about
actual
that soon,
like
too.
racing starts,
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
it's late. Anyway, I found out the reason Netflix doesn't do full theatrical releases.
I'm keen.
Which we've talked about before. We think that they should.
Yes.
If they had released Glass Onion as a full theatrical release, it would have made like over 100 million.
Yeah.
it would have made them profit, and
Yeah.
then they still would have gotten crazy viewership
On Netflix.
when it released. Mm-hmm. The reason Netflix doesn't do full theatrical releases...
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, but you're going to be right.
Oh, I'm going to guess anyway. Because, and the only hint I have about this is that last night Nikos was like, I'm not telling you, but it is as bad as you would assume it is.
Mm-hmm.
So is it because they don't want to pay a cut to the actors and writers and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so basically Netflix releases movies in cinemas for the minimum amount of time they need to be in theaters to qualify for the Oscars. But, like, literally just before the minimum amount of time they can be in cinemas without being qualified as an actual theatrical release.
Right.
In which case they would have to pay cast and crew residuals.
Wild.
And so the whole reason they cut it off at a very specific moment of, like, limited to 2 weeks, or 2 weekends, I should say, is because they want to qualify for the Oscars, but they refuse to pay any residuals. And I'm like, even with residuals and stuff, on certain Netflix films, you could be making fucking bank.
Yeah, you absolutely
Glass
could.
Onion, Red One, The Grey Man, like all these
Yeah.
hit big...
Yeah.
That cost $250 million that I can guarantee they're not making back.
No, there's no way they're
in
making
viewership.
that much money back.
They're just throwing money down the drain.
Yeah, they
I'm like,
are.
bruh, it makes no sense to me. They're just selfish and cunts and the fucking worst of the worst. And
They really are.
apparently, so the latest on the strikes is that, sorry to rant at you.
No,
The latest on the strikes is that the studios came together a couple weeks ago, the American Motion Picture producers, or whatever it is, the heads of the studios, so Bob Iger and David Zaslav and all that, all got together and came up with an offer. Mm-hmm. And it was a bad offer.
Of course it was. No one's surprised about that.
So the SAG-AFTRA... no, this is with the WGA, so not SAG-AFTRA. The WGA were like, no, this barely at all is compromising on anything. Like, there's stuff we are willing to compromise on, but you're not willing to compromise.
Yeah.
So still no. And then it came out that, like, all of, like, Bob Iger and David Zaslav were, like, personally offended. Because they, so basically they've poured in... I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been Disney or Warner Brothers. Basically hired a PR management firm to get them through the strike without looking like absolute cunts.
Lol.
But the amount they're paying them is like $95 million, which is the amount that it would take to pay the writers and actors fairly for a year.
Yeah. There's just no good optics to what they're doing. Like, it's like genuinely... I saw this thing the other day. Oh my God, I can't remember. I think it was Bob Iger. I'm not sure. Someone said something horrendous, unsurprisingly. And I saw someone like make a tweet, not an X, a tweet about it. Being like, I would genuinely be ashamed to write a villain in my story this like unsubtly evil.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is like, they're just telling on themselves at this point.
No, I agree.
It's absolutely insane.
And actually Disney Plus this week has gone for Warner Brothers and has cut a bunch of completed shows. So there was 2 that I can think of specifically, but I know that there was more. One of them was the live-action adaptation of the Spiderwick Chronicles as a television series. Completely filmed, pretty much done post-production, ready to go, and they've just decided not to air it.
Wild.
But luckily, because it's co-produced by Paramount, they're able to shop it to other networks.
Interesting.
So I'm kind of like assuming like Apple will buy it or something.
Yeah.
Because Apple is smart and actually buys third-party content.
Yeah.
Like they've got the Godzilla show coming out.
Right.
That's technically owned by legendary Warner Brothers.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, they cut that before it's aired. And also actually a massive British production that was filmed in Australia. And it sounds really fucking cool. It's called Nautilus, and it's a prequel to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Right. Okay.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The
Captain Nemo.
Jules Verne, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
So it sounds like a fun adventure series.
Yeah.
Fully filmed, fully done,
That's a shame.
completely cut, and we're not sure if it's getting shopped around because it's owned by Disney in full. But hopefully, because it's like an entire 10-episode production.
I just don't understand how they have so much fucking money to waste on PR companies and pushing back marketing for films that were already halfway marketed and cutting shows, but they don't have enough money to pay their writers and their actors.
They do.
Like, no, I know they do, obviously.
No, I know. That's
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's like, but like
and
their
also
logic doesn't
to pay
make
themselves
sense.
like $25 million a year
Fucking
without
disgusting.
bonuses. With bonuses, it can go up to over 100 million.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. Like it's so obviously disgusting that I don't know how they're not like ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, it's wild. Apparently they met up on Friday again to try and come up with another one. The heads of the studios, I should say. So potentially this week there might be another negotiation of some sort. But a few months ago, it was Bob Iger who said, "We're gonna wait them
until
out,
they lose their homes.
and wait until they lose their homes and jobs and families and
Yeah.
cars and everything." So
Which is disgusting.
it's pretty transparent. Also, they've been leaking their proposals.
Yeah, interesting.
And the whole thing of them leaking their proposals is so that the people who want to get back to work can then be like, this is an okay deal. Why can't you just take that deal? So that there's infighting, so that the heads of SAG-AFTRA and the WGA feel pressured to.
Yeah.
It's like full-on mind games.
Yeah, it is.
It's really fucked up and wild.
Well, I think they're really kind of underestimating how... Because, I mean, the one thing is the money, right? The other thing is this AI stuff. And I cannot see any creative willing to compromise on this AI stuff because it's like... It undermines everything going forward, right?
Yeah.
So even if, like, for me personally, I go, okay, you know, I guess I wouldn't want to, but I'd fine, I'll compromise on the money, I'll stick with minimum wage, whatever. You cannot use my writing to train AI. Like, that's not cool in any way. So I think they're really underestimating how
important that is.
Important it is, yeah. Well, because I know that's one of their really big sticking points is that they go, no, we want to be able to use AI, we want to train AI, we want to be able to fucking have your headshot in perpetuity so we can make fucking crazy CGI characters. Like, it's that's just not something that creatives are going to compromise on. So I just don't see how this is going to resolve itself anytime soon. And I am genuinely...
the estimates are that it won't end and will not end until next year.
That honestly does not surprise me. Particularly about the writers, I think, because I think studios have really underestimated how important the writers are for the process. And then eventually, like, we're going to get to a point where they're going to stop making any money, right? Because they've got fucking shit content. But I am really shocked that they haven't gotten this acting strike, like, sorted out faster.
Yeah.
Like, I would have thought the studios would have been like, oh, this is really an issue.
Yeah.
You know? So it's, wild. Unprecedented times.
Yeah, no, it genuinely. Cuckoo bananas.
Cuckoo bananas.
And also I feel bad for all of the shows that are getting cancelled and blamed on the writer's strike.
Yeah.
It's like, can you not blame the writers?
It's giving...
in this exact context.
It's giving
that makes no sense.
2008 GFC, everyone blaming teachers and immigrants
Yeah.
for the economy collapsing. Like, no, that's not what happened. Yeah. Cuckoo.
I went to the shops the other day, and two major things happened.
What?
I saw a schoolgirl get hit by a car on her bike by an old woman.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
And then, yeah, well, that happened. She was
Right.
fine, I think.
You didn't stay?
No, the lights turned green. I had to go. What was I going to do?
Call an ambulance?
There was tons of people checking on her.
Oh my god.
It's not like she was just by herself. Anyway, so I saw a girl get hit by an old woman, which I personally think at the age of 60, everyone should have to redo their driver's license.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I will not budge on 60.
Redo their test, yeah.
Yeah, redo their test, because it was a zebra crossing and the old woman went.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, so old people fucking suck.
And clearly also, can you not see someone in front of you? Like...
Well, perhaps she couldn't because she's fucking old.
Yeah, well...
Anyway, an even worse thing happened in a shopping centre.
Jesus.
I went into Big W. Mm-hmm. There's already Christmas stuff out.
No!
Yeah.
No.
And this was August 31st.
Surely they're not being like Halloween.
Halloween's still not.
I mean, it's not big, but there's fucking like 5 months left until Christmas. Just keep it up for the whole year if that's what you're going to do. Like,
yeah, it's 4 full months.
yeah, it's like we're halfway through the year. We're not getting close.
No.
We're still not even close. We've only just gone into spring.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I agree. And it blew my mind completely. I was shook. I was gagged. And it was my villain origin story.
That's so fair. What was your other villain origin story the other day? You said in the group chat.
I don't remember.
Me either, but it was a really good one.
It was, no, I do remember. So huge news for Swifties.
Ah, yeah. It was a good one.
Huge news for American Swifties.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, 3 weeks after filming the concert version of
Insane.
the concert film of the Eras
Tour.
Tour, she's just announced that she's releasing in October in North America only the
Devastating.
Eras Tour concert film in cinemas. We're like, cool, slay.
There are so many layers
We
to
understand that she can only
unhinged
release it
this
in
is.
North America so that it doesn't hurt ticket sales internationally and
Not that it would.
all that. Not that it would. Which is fine and great and dandy. It got announced, and minutes after it got announced, I clicked on their like AMC Theaters link for the American things.
That was a queue.
All of the cinema websites were shut down for like 3 hours
Crazy.
because there was such big queues waiting for Taylor
Yeah.
Swift tickets
Yeah,
to the cinemas.
she broke the record for the most pre-sale tickets
Ever.
ever, right? Like overtook
$26 million,
Endgame.
more than $26 million in a day,
Yeah.
which overtook Spider-Man No Way Home,
And Endgame.
which
That's one
overtook
I saw.
Endgame.
Wild.
So don't underestimate the Swifties. But my villain origin story is the fact that we got fucked over by Ticket Tech.
We did.
And we didn't get tickets purely because they decided to make it 100% chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not get back into that because it's infuriating.
Still.
But the fact that she's releasing this in cinemas and there was still ticket lineups and
Yeah, it was still
random
hard to get
draws of who could get
tickets.
tickets
Crazy.
was so insane to me that it like something snapped in my brain
That's fair.
and I just went full villain.
Understandable. The other really big news about Taylor Swift I've seen this week, well, the big discourse I've seen about her this week is...
Oh no.
No, it's good.
Oh.
Is that someone, I don't know who, like Pop Crave or something, I don't even know, released an article this week where they were like, I think maybe it was The Weeknd, broke the record for the highest male grossing tour this month or whatever. And everyone was like, the way that they've now had to qualify that it was a male grossing tour because Taylor Swift has done so well so consistently that now like the group of artists that would usually not have a gender assigned to it
Right.
now has to have a gender assigned to it
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
Taylor
yeah,
Swift
yeah,
is
yeah.
very iconic.
That is
And I'm
iconic.
like, yeah, slay.
That is iconic.
Right.
Because The Weeknd, I think, overtook like Madonna or something.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I only saw the Taylor Swift side of
It's like Godzilla versus Kong.
it. It's and one's Taylor Swift
like-
and one's The Weeknd.
Yeah. And they're
Interesting.
fighting out for dominance over the
Interesting.
ticket sales for their concerts.
Wild. Yeah.
Very that.
Very that. Very that.
Very that. Troye Sivan released a remix of Rush
Okay.
this week, and it's got Pink Panthers on it, and Hyunjin from the K-pop group Stray Kids.
Okay.
I listen to it. I love the song. So
I
I'm
don't
like,
think I really know who any of those people are.
Troye Sivan's an
I know
icon,
Troye
a legend,
Sivan, that's
and here's
it.
the moment, and the song slaps. But he released this remix with the 2 features on it, and Pink Panthers. So it goes Troye verse, Troye chorus, Pink Panthers verse, Troye and Pink Panthers chorus, and then it goes the bridge, and then like the last chorus just has Hyunjin doing backing vocals,
Right.
but he gets like a feature on it, and K-pop fans are really in their heads.
It's giving Dixie Chicks.
It's giving Dixie Chicks,
Lana Del
but
Rey.
it's giving Lana, but
Basically every
the
feature.
K-pop fans are going bananas because they're like, it's so slay and awesome and kind of a huge deal that a member of a K-pop band is doing a feature on, you know, a Western
Yes.
pop stars,
Yeah.
a gay Western pop stars song. So like, even though it's essentially nothing and you can't tell his voice from any of the other vocals, it's still really great.
Interesting.
But then the other side of their brain is being like the feral, how could he only give them this much and all this stuff, and there's not enough, and this is so disrespectful,
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And I just find it very funny to watch K-pop fans implode.
Honestly, these things are it's just like no-win scenarios. Anything that anyone can have an opinion on.
You're right. And also, they seem to always forget that all 3 of the artists have to sign off on it.
Yeah.
So they would have remixed this song. He would have recorded just those little backings for the chorus.
Yeah.
And then signed off on it. Like, if he's okay with it, shouldn't everyone else be okay with it?
It's so true.
I don't know. I find it hilarious. But it's very much Lana on Snow on the Beach and the Chicks on that one song.
I don't remember what it is. I don't listen to that song personally.
Things will get better?
It really might be. I think I only listened to that song once because it's about her mum getting cancer.
Yeah.
And I only listened to it once and I was like, nope! This is
Yeah.
too sad for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if there's much on the news, to be honest. We might be wrapping up.
Yeah, probably we should be. Because we've got a whole other episode to record, which I'm really excited about.
No, I do have my What the Fuck of the Week for this week. So we'll do our What the Fuck of the Weeks.
Okay.
And then wrap up this episode. My What the Fuck of the Week this week is that I feel like my whole life has been a lie. Because I've just discovered, you know, that science experiment where you put Mentos in Coke and it like boom, boom, boom explodes
Yeah.
like a volcano.
Yeah.
That's not a chemical reaction.
What is it?
It's a displacement thing. Because the
How?
Mentos are the exact shape and size of the opening of the Coke bottle. When you put like 6 in at once, it deplaces it so much that the bubbles go bananas and it explodes.
That doesn't make any sense.
If you just put a Mentos in a bucket of Coke, nothing would happen. It's not a chemical reaction. And this
Should we
fucking
test
blew my
that?
mind.
Should we test it?
I'm not spending the money to test that if I already know it's true.
I need to see it. For
But I feel like
myself.
my life is a lie because Mentos and Coke is not a chemical reaction. It's actually just about displacement and
Doesn't make
the
any- This is
Mentos
why I
being the
couldn't be
right
a
size.
scientist because that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's wild.
That is wild.
Because they're the perfect shape of the
Yeah, but
thing, it causes like a bunch of pressure when they go down, and that
so if I put
forces
the Mentos
gas.
in on the side and there was air either side of the Mentos in the neck, would it still explode?
No, not as much, no. If at all.
But what about when you put the Mentos in and then you shake it up and then it goes?
I hate to tell you this, but if you just shook up a bottle of Coke without Mentos
Yeah,
in
that's
it,
really true. You're
it
right.
would also explode.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's true. That was a bad question. You're right.
Yeah, it's just about the pressure building up because the Mentos is such the perfect size that it like
I think
creates
I
an
need to see
atomic bomb.
a demonstration video of this.
You know?
An example video, slow motion.
You know?
Whack. Well, speaking of...
Yeah, so that blew my mind. Anyway, that's my What the Fuck of the Week.
That's pretty crazy. Mine is going to be F1 related again. You're going to have
Slay.
to put a ban on me soon.
Just fucking say it.
It's about I got tickets to the Grand Prix this
yeah.
week. Very
It's
exciting.
very exciting.
Yes, extra exciting because genuinely I felt like I was in the trenches. I felt like I was buying Taylor Swift tickets again. It still took 40 minutes for me to get in, but I did get tickets, which was really good. And I will say that after I got them, I was like, this must be what people felt like when they did get Taylor Swift tickets, which only made me feel worse about the fact that we did
didn't
not
get
get
tickets.
Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah. The interesting because you also got the like pre-approved.
Yes, I did.
Fan
I got
pre-
through multiple
Not
stages.
pre-sale fan.
Yeah, well, it was a pre-sale, but it was like a fan access pre-sale. Yeah.
Yeah. For being like signed up to the shit.
Yeah, to the newsletter. So then I got through like.
Unlike
the first
Taylor
round.
Swift, where you didn't have to be fucking signed up to her mailing list.
Yeah.
Bull
Yeah.
fucking shit.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's very exciting for you. So when is it?
It is exciting. Oh, it's in March next year.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
In Melbourne.
In Melbourne, yes. Mackenzie and I did try to get accommodation this week, but it was fucking insane. A, how little accommodation there was, and B, how expensive it was. So I don't really know what we're going to do about that.
Have you thought about
Camping?
checking
Yes.
out like the public transport lines and just getting as far away from the actual city as you can?
Yeah, but because there's so many people who go, I'm slightly concerned about how difficult it will be to get in public transport or not. And we also only
that's
got
fair.
park passes. We didn't end up getting assigned seating, which means we'll have to go really early. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm not sure yet what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for listening. Oh.
Maddie, where can people follow you?
Real_Maddie_M on TikTok and Instagram.
Slay.
Yes.
If you want to follow the pod, you can at WTFIH podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to follow me, you can at NIC_sushi on Twitter and TikTok.
Nice.
I think that's it for this week.
Okay, cute.
Cute.
Well, I'm going to be away for the next few weeks, which is why we're pre-recording another episode.
Yes, with like the past 2 months of movie reviews.
Yes. But so there is actually going to be a planned absence of episodes over the next few weeks, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you
Thanks
very
so much for listening
to
to What the Fuck is Happening, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.